All right, all right, all right, all right. Welcome, Americans, patriots, fellow subscribers, apocalyptic survivors. It's another edition of the Sloppy Bro Show coming to you live. I decided to live stream this one because honestly, I didn't feel like I have to go through and do a damn edit or anything. I'm feeling kind of lazy. All this isolation time has just really made me lazy. I need to work on that. But anyway, yeah, here we are, day 11 of self isolation. Uh, a lot of the counties, and actually the state, has gone in full lockdown mode. They have restricted it to where it is stay at home and you can only go out except for the essentials. If you're an essential worker, you've got to go to the pharmacy, the liquor store, the grocery store, hospital. That's pretty much about it. Otherwise, stay your happy ass at home. I'm telling you, I gotta tell you guys, I was wrong about this one. I thought I thought maybe at the beginning it was, bullshit, just another virus. What's the big deal? But I missed that mark because apparently it is pretty damn serious. I mean, granted, the numbers are still low right now, but I've been watching in the area where I live. We started out with zero, then it was one. A few hours later, two, four, just keeps multiplying, multiplying. I think right now we're up to eight. Hell, actually, probably 16 by now. But yeah, it's crazy. But I had to go to the pharmacy today to go get my prescriptions. And man, it was a lot of people not following the orders. Definitely not social distancing. When I was in line at the pharmacy to get my scripts, people weren't standing 6 feet apart. Hell, there were some people, just shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow. Um, the Harley people are loving it because I guess because of the weather, they're out riding their damn bikes like crazy. I don't know, man. I'm really curious to see how long this is going to last, though. Um, working from home's been interesting. Reading a lot of books, catching up on some reading, thank goodness. Catching up on the internet, goofing around a lot. Me and my boy, doing father and son stuff, playing games, having some real good father son conversations. If one thing I've noticed that I hope, is if we can pull a positive, from this whole coronavirus, is maybe it'll help narrow that divide between us all. Maybe we can finally set the politics aside, just focus on being human beings and just being good to one another, you know, and just learning how to communicate again, share a joke, share a toke, whatever. I think we can share a toke because of the whole social distancing. But if you got a webcam, if you smoke and they smoke, y'all can share a toke, virtually. That'd be cool. But yeah, I hope it brings families closer together. Especially those families that were so divided at one time because of all the the political bullshit and whatnot. Hopefully, something good could come out of this. I don't know. Got to try to stay positive though in these dark times, though, right? Am I right? Hell, I don't know. But yeah, I'm curious to see how all you guys are hanging out and coping and whatnot, handling it. I know that there's quite a few of you that got to be freaking out. I know I was freaking out there for a minute, especially when I went to. I had to go to Lowe's a few days ago to get some stuff for a project I'm doing around the house that was needed, and didn't think nothing of it. But then I found out today that uh, that hardware store that I went to, one of the employees, has the coronavirus. So that made my heart skip a little beat. Definitely don't want that. But I called the store, and luckily the person in question didn't work that day that I was there. But just goes to show you, man, this thing is everywhere. It's like 6 degrees of corona is what it's like. and it's pretty trippy. But anyway, I hope you guys are staying safe, being smart, washing those hands. That's important. You got to wash those hands. Apparently, we got to wash the backs of them too. I found that out on CNN the other day because they were doing a news story because I guess people don't really know how to wash their hands properly. I mean, to me, it just seemed like common sense. But what do I know? But good information for those that may not know how to wash their hands properly. I hope they caught it and heed the advice because it looked pretty good. But good Lord, man, never in my life did I think this would be the time that this would happen in my lifetime. Something like this grand a scale. I was talking to some family overseas, and they're dealing with the exact same thing over there. That they're dealing with here. I mean, this is a worldwide epidemic, and sadly, it looks like Italy is just getting the brunt of it right now. 900 deaths in one day. Jesus Christ, that's horrific. I understand that as human beings, we're top of the food chain. We're el numero uno. But I also know that our biggest threat and weakness is and will always be viruses. I mean, they're just amazing. I mean, creatures. I mean, would you call them creatures or I don't know. I mean, they're just amazing. I mean, look what viruses have done throughout history. The Black Plague. The Spanish flu. All that stuff. All the lives throughout history lost due to viruses. And it seems like every time we come up with a vaccine or a cure, that virus just mutates and then we got another one to deal with. I mean, it's actually quite amazing if you think of it. I guess as human beings, we're just not quite as badass as we like to think we are. So, yeah, real curious to see how long this will last. I mean, here we are, day 11. I thought at first it was going to be 2 weeks. It's looking like it's going to be longer. I've heard some talk, 30 days. I've heard 3 months. Hell, I've heard 180 days. I mean, so much information, so much misinformation. You don't know what's what. I'm trying not to, follow the media too much because they're doing a real good job right now pumping out fear. Um, I mean, it's to the point where it's depressing. I wish maybe they could give us some good news, maybe, talk a little more about how people are beating the virus, how they're getting sick but then overcoming it, maybe if it's slowing down any in certain areas. Don't really hear much of that from them. Of course, they don't like to make us happy. They don't like to give us the feel goods and the happy feelings inside. They like us to be angry and upset and scared and afraid. At least that's my take on it. I could be wrong. It's wild, wild. But yeah, I hope you guys out there are doing good. For you new subscribers that are just checking in, if you don't mind hitting that like and subscribe button, punch that notification bell every time I do a video. You'll be one of the first ones to know about it. But we're all going to get through this together, hopefully. And like I said, I really hope it continues to bring us together as a country and as human beings, and that we can finally set aside our differences and try to meet somewhere in the middle on common ground and just realize that all that other shit's not important. What's important is people, all of us, you know, black, white, yellow, brown, purple, pink, gay, straight, whatever, man, bisexual, transgendered, we're all human beings. We all bleed red, and every life is important. And we just got to learn to, work and live together. I mean, this planet, it's the only one we got. Can't go nowhere else. Man, I'm sounding really hippie-ish right now, aren't I? I promise I've not been smoking any weed or anything like that. Just having a cold PBR. It's about all I get into at this day and age. My old age and all my health issues. It's about all I can handle. And of course, the cigarettes, which once again I really do need to quit. But yeah, if you guys want to drop in the comments, things that you're doing on a daily basis to help you cope, any kind of exercise routines that you're doing since all the gyms are closed. Not that I go to the gym. I mean, I have lost some weight, but I've also put some back on since the whole isolation thing. I'm not gonna lie. It's just way easier to eat junk than to cook healthy during times like this. So yeah, I've put some weight back on, but I'm gonna get back on track eventually. But yeah, recipes. You got any favorite recipes you want to share? Drop those in the comments. I'm sure all 206 of my subscribers, my loyal followers, would be interested to know as well. And I'm sure you guys have got things you'd like to share. So feel free to drop them in there, man. Anything, any kind of cool board games or video games that you're playing right now? Any good TV shows, movies you're watching you think everybody else might like? Hell, anything that pass and kill the damn time. Because it looks like we're going to be in this one for a while. But anyway, I'm not gonna keep rambling. It's been rolling now for about a little over 12 minutes, and I'm watching this documentary about some tiger dude that I'm telling you is trippy as fuck. I had no idea that exotic tigers were such a big thing and all the drama surrounding it, but it's pretty wild. So I'm gonna finish watching that, and then I think I might do a repeat of the Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. That was a pretty trippy documentary. I hear that's on Amazon now, so I'm gonna check that out. It'll be interesting nonetheless. So, but yeah, you guys stay safe. Stay indoors. Don't go out unless you absolutely have to. And if you do have to, stay away from people. 6 feet. I know it's tough. Just go out for the essentials, though. If there's any way we can slow this thing down to where they can, find a vaccine or some kind of cure, the more help we can give the health community, the better. Because I would really like for this thing to kind of go away and for us to go about living our normal, happy, healthy lives. But as always, don't forget to check in on your neighbors. People are going crazy with this hoarding shit. I had to go to the grocery store this morning, and here it was Friday. No damn eggs. I had to buy 2.5 gallons of milk because they had no gallon milk. All the ground beef was gone. Plenty of steak and prime rib though, so I guess people can't really afford that these days. Lucky I got everything that I needed, so that was good. But there's a lot of people out there that are struggling. So if you come across anybody struggling, if you've got a little more that you can give, do so. We all got to work together if we're going to get through this. Don't forget to check on your grandparents. Or that nice elderly person who's living alone in your neighborhood. Follow up with them. I went to check on mine the other day. It looks like their family put her in a home, so I'm hoping she'll be okay there. From what I understand, they're quarantining them in the old folks' home, so hopefully she won't get sick. But she was a sweet woman. So yeah, we all got to do our part. Anyway, as always, thanks for coming by and hanging out, and I will catch you motherfuckers on the flip side. Cheers.